office buildings of the 60s steel and glass erector set sort, flimsy and forgettable. The road was 5 lanes wide and was jammed, but moving. San José looked like L.A., circa 1973, and she puttered through the city weirdly horny. The heat, maybe? The volume of the sidewalks, maybe? She watched women through her windshield, and they watched her. She found an English language station, and on it, Michael Jackson's Rock With You, and she thought she would burst. She was happy, and she'd been for a few years able to recognize it, just dumb happiness when it came, whatever its cause. When people asked how she was, she said, happy. And this made some people angry. There was traffic heading into town, and she was moving, legs and arms and neck, with Michael, who she knew she'd like if she met him. She would understand him, and they'd laugh and laugh about nothing, standing in his kitchen. Hand had loved 3 of Pilar's oldest friends, and she knew everything. Hand would leave this world and everyone in it if given the chance to be in space for just a few minutes. Hand cried when he read about men falsely imprisoned, freed at age 40, and walking the streets without malice. She found her way out of the city and drove straight west, through the tolls by the airport and then around the 2-lane bends, hundreds of turns through the hill country, waiting behind so many trucks, everyone so slow. The countryside was neat and green and lush, and everything was for sale. At the airport they had been selling real estate. At the car rental place, at every gas station, slick posters and handmade flyers of properties for the taking, beachfront or lowland. Everywhere along the road, plots and properties available. The Costa Ricans were proud of what they'd created. The most sturdy, the most predictable, easily the most tourist-amenable nation in Central America, and now that it was ripe, they were bringing it all to market. The highway was tumored with SUVs and buses. Pilar had expected jalopies and wood-fenced fruit trucks, but they were rare. This country was singing with space and sky and bright, smooth new cars with clean black tires. There was heat, but between the sun and the treetops were quick-moving clouds, and they dragged black shadows over the leaves. Low-flying, quick-moving clouds. I haven't long to live. Treetops, rounded and rough. That's probably true. Low-flying, quick-moving clouds. I won't even make it to the sea. I can already see where I'll end. Treetops, rounded and rough. I don't know what to tell you. Low-flying, quick-moving clouds. But the thing is, I really love moving like this, though I know I won't even make it. Treetops, rounded and rough. There are advantages to flight. Low-flying, quick-moving clouds. But thought is its unfitting companion. Pilar was meeting Hand at Playa Alta, because there, Hand said, the waves were forgiving and not too big, the water warm and the beach almost empty. Even when it's crowded, it looks empty, this beach, he said. A big flat playa, he said. And she cringed because Hand, she knew, would say playa when he meant beach, if that beach was located in a Spanish-speaking country. She loved him. He was ludicrous. There was no way or reason to be subtle about why Pilar was in Costa Rica. At 31, she was still unmarried, and Hand was one of her few old friends also still unmarried, and the only attractive old friend she'd never slept with. So she knew, when she hung up the phone with Hand 5 weeks prior, that she would sleep with him in Alta. And she knew it on the plane and on the drive to the coast. Was she in any way saddened by the predictability of the outcome? Was it unromantic? She decided that it was not. Sex and things like sex, things people pretend they regret, weren't about a decision made in a heated moment. The decision is made when you leave the house, when you get on a plane, when you dial a number. She would arrive and hope that he still looked the way she liked him to look. Lean, big-mouthed, clean. They would spend the first day pretending to be friends only, barely touching arms. The second night they would drink at dinner and drink after that, amid shirtless and dreadlocked surfers, and then would sleep together in a tentative and civilized way.